Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another day of our English Shadowing Challenge. We're so happy you decided to spend a few minutes practicing with us today. If you've been following this challenge from the beginning, great job. If today is your first lesson, don't worry at all. You can start right here. Every lesson is designed to help you speak English more naturally, one small step at a time. Today, we're focusing on a skill that can completely change the way you communicate with people. It isn't about learning difficult vocabulary or memorizing grammar rules. Instead, it's about learning how to keep a conversation alive by asking follow-up questions. This simple habit makes your English sound more confident, friendly, and natural.
That's right. Think about the last time you had a really enjoyable conversation. Chances are, both people kept asking questions because they were interested in each other. Imagine someone tells you, "I started a new hobby last week." If you only reply, "That's nice," the conversation may end very quickly. But if you ask, "Really? What hobby did you start?" Or, "What made you choose that hobby?" Suddenly, the conversation becomes much more interesting. The other person feels heard, appreciated, and excited to continue talking with you. That's exactly what follow-up questions do. They invite people to share more, and they make conversations feel warm instead of short.
Now, let's practice together using the shadowing method. Remember, don't just listen silently. Repeat every sentence out loud after us. Speaking aloud trains your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. Even if you're alone, keep speaking. Don't worry about making mistakes, because every sentence you practice makes you a little stronger. Ready? Listen first, then repeat. "I started reading a new book yesterday." Now repeat it. Great. Now here's the follow-up question. "Oh, really? What is the book about?" Say it again. "Oh, really? What is the book about?" Excellent. Notice that we didn't ask the question immediately. We first added a natural reaction. "Oh, really?" Small expressions like that make your English sound much more friendly and conversational.
Let's try another example. Listen carefully. "My family is planning a vacation next month." Now repeat. Very good. Here's the follow-up. "That sounds exciting. Where are you planning to go?" Repeat once more. "That sounds exciting. Where are you planning to go?" Can you hear how the conversation keeps moving? Instead of stopping after one sentence, you're inviting the other person to tell you more. That's exactly what happens in real conversations every day.
Many English learners believe they need advanced words to sound fluent, but that's not true. Fluent speakers often use simple words. The difference is that they know how to continue the conversation. They listen carefully, react naturally, and ask another question. That's a skill anyone can learn with practice. Today, every time you hear an example, imagine you're talking to a real friend instead of studying from a textbook. That small change in mindset can make your English sound much more natural.
Let's finish this first section with a short conversation. Listen once, then practice both parts if you can.
"Hi, you look really happy today."
I am. I finally finished my English course.
"That's wonderful. What did you enjoy most about the course?"
I really enjoyed the speaking practice because it helped me become more confident.
"That's great to hear. Are you planning to continue learning English?"
Absolutely. I want to practice a little every day until speaking English feels completely natural.
Excellent. Did you notice what happened in that conversation? Every answer led to another question, and every question helped the conversation grow. That's the power of follow-up questions. Throughout today's lesson, we'll learn many more useful questions that you can use with friends, classmates, coworkers, and even people you're meeting for the very first time. So stay with us. Keep repeating every sentence out loud, and let's continue improving your English together.
I hope you repeated every sentence out loud, because speaking is where real improvement happens. In this section, we're going to learn different kinds of follow-up questions that you can use in everyday conversations. The great thing is that you don't need hundreds of questions. You only need a few simple patterns that you can use again and again. Once they become natural, you'll notice that conversations become longer, smoother, and much more enjoyable. People usually appreciate someone who listens carefully and asks thoughtful questions. It shows respect, curiosity, and genuine interest. Let's begin with one of the easiest question words, what? Imagine someone says, I bought something interesting yesterday. You could simply smile and say, that's nice, but the conversation would probably end there. Instead, you could ask, oh really? What did you buy? If they answer, I bought a camera, you could continue with, what do you like about it? Or what are you planning to use it for? Notice how each answer creates another opportunity to keep talking. That's exactly how natural conversations grow. Now it's your turn to shadow. Repeat after me. I bought something interesting yesterday. Now repeat the follow-up. Oh really? What did you buy? Excellent. One more time. Oh really? What did you buy? Great job.
Now, let's talk about why questions. These questions help us understand someone's reasons or decisions. They're perfect when someone tells you about a change, a choice, or an experience. Listen to this example. I started waking up at 5 o'clock every morning. Instead of only saying, wow, you can ask, really? Why did you decide to do that? Or if you want to sound a little more casual, really? How come? How come is short, friendly, and very common in everyday English. Native speakers use it all the time with friends and family. It sounds relaxed without being rude. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. I started waking up at 5 o'clock every morning. Now repeat, really? Why did you decide to do that? Once more. Really? How come? Fantastic. Keep your voice natural and relaxed. Remember, you're having a conversation, not reading from a script.
Next, let's learn about how questions. These are some of the most powerful follow-up questions because they invite people to talk about their feelings and experiences, not just facts. Imagine someone says, I gave my first presentation at work yesterday. Instead of asking only what happened, you could ask, how did it go? Or how did you feel afterward? Those questions encourage the speaker to describe emotions, challenges, and personal experiences. That's where conversations become meaningful. Let's shadow. Repeat after me. I gave my first presentation at work yesterday. Now repeat. Wow, how did it go? Again, how did you feel afterward? Excellent. Notice something important. Before every question, we added a small reaction. Wow, really? That's interesting. These little expressions make your English sound warm and natural. Here's another useful tip. Don't rush to ask question after question. First, react to what the other person says. For example, imagine your friend says, I finally learned how to swim. Instead of immediately asking another question, you might first respond, that's amazing, congratulations. Then continue with, where did you learn? Or was it difficult at first? That creates a balanced conversation because you're showing emotion before asking for more information. Let's practice one more shadowing activity. Repeat after me. I finally learned how to swim. Now repeat. That's amazing. Where did you learn? One last time. Was it difficult at first? Very nice.
Let's listen to a short conversation. Pay attention to how every answer naturally leads to another follow-up question.
I visited my grandparents over the weekend.
Oh, that's nice. Where do they live?
They live in a small town near the mountains.
That sounds beautiful. What do you enjoy most about visiting them?
We always cook together and spend time outside.
I love that. What's your favorite meal to cook together?
We usually make homemade bread and vegetable soup.
That sounds delicious. You'll have to teach me how to make it someday. Did you notice something? Neither person used difficult English. The conversation stayed interesting because each speaker listened carefully, reacted naturally, and asked another thoughtful question. That's a habit you can start using today. Keep practicing these patterns, and in the next part, we'll learn even more ways to make your English conversations feel confident, friendly, and effortless.
Now, you've already practiced several kinds of follow-up questions, and hopefully you're beginning to notice something important. Good conversations don't happen because someone knows thousands of English words. They happen because both people keep showing interest in each other. One person shares an idea, the other person reacts, asks a thoughtful question, and then shares something in return. That's how conversations continue naturally. Today, we're going to practice exactly that skill. Here's a simple rule you can remember. Listen, react, ask. First, listen carefully to what the other person says. Next, show a natural reaction like, wow, that's interesting. Really? Or no way. Finally, ask a follow-up question. This simple 3-step pattern works almost everywhere. At school, at work, while traveling, or even when meeting someone for the first time. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. I adopted a puppy last weekend. Now repeat the response. Oh, that's wonderful. What kind of puppy is it? Excellent. Let's try another one. I finally passed my driving test. Now repeat. Congratulations. How did you celebrate? Great job. Notice how the reaction comes before the question. That makes the conversation feel friendly and genuine.
Now, let's imagine you're meeting someone for the very first time. Sometimes learners worry because they don't know what to ask next. The secret is simple. Pay attention to the information the other person gives you. Imagine someone says, "I'm studying engineering at university." Instead of changing the topic, stay with it. You could ask, "Oh, that's interesting. What made you choose engineering?" If they answer, "I've always loved solving problems," you might continue, "What kind of projects are you working on now?" See what happened? Every answer gave us another direction to explore. That's why conversations feel smooth instead of awkward. Let's shadow. Repeat after me. I'm studying engineering at university. Now repeat. Oh, that's interesting. What made you choose engineering? One more time. What kind of projects are you working on now? Fantastic.
Another common situation is talking with friends about hobbies. These conversations are usually relaxed, so your questions can sound relaxed too. Imagine your friend says, "I've started learning photography." You could reply, "Really? What do you enjoy taking pictures of?" If they answer, "Mostly nature and sunsets," you might say, "That sounds beautiful. Do you have a favorite place to take photos?" Can you feel how naturally the conversation develops? You're not forcing it. You're simply showing curiosity. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I've started learning photography. Now repeat. Really? What do you enjoy taking pictures of? Again, do you have a favorite place to take photos? Excellent work.
Sometimes you won't understand everything someone says, and that's completely normal. Even native speakers ask for clarification. Imagine someone says, "I've been experimenting with intermittent fasting." Maybe you don't know what that means. Instead of pretending you understand, politely ask, "Sorry, could you explain what that means?" Or, "I'm not familiar with that. Could you tell me a little more?" People usually appreciate questions like these because they know you're trying to understand. Let's shadow. Repeat after me. I've been experimenting with intermittent fasting. Now repeat. Sorry, could you explain what that means? One more time. I'm not familiar with that. Could you tell me a little more? Perfect. Listen carefully and notice how every follow-up question helps the discussion continue naturally.
I joined a local hiking club a few months ago.
Oh, wow. That sounds like fun. How did you find the club?
A friend invited me to one of their weekend trips.
That's great. What's been your favorite hike so far?
We climbed a mountain with an incredible view of the lake.
That must have been amazing. Was it a difficult hike?
It was challenging, but reaching the top made all the effort worth it.
I can imagine. Do you think a beginner could do that hike?
Yes, definitely. You just need comfortable shoes and a little patience.
Maybe I'll join you one weekend. It sounds like a fantastic experience.
Did you notice something? Nobody asked complicated questions. The conversation stayed interesting because every question connected to the previous answer. That's one of the biggest secrets to sounding natural in English. Don't think about asking the perfect question. Simply listen carefully, stay curious, and ask about what the other person has already shared. The more you practice this habit, the more confident you'll become, and before long, keeping a conversation going will feel completely natural.
If you've been practicing with us from the beginning, you've already learned one of the most valuable conversation skills in English. Remember, speaking English isn't only about using correct grammar. It's also about making the other person feel comfortable talking with you. When you ask thoughtful follow-up questions, you're showing that you're listening, you're interested, and you want the conversation to continue. Those three things make a huge difference in both personal and professional conversations. Let's quickly review the 4 main types of follow-up questions we practiced today. First, we learned what questions. These help you ask for more information. For example, what happened next? What was it like? Second, we practiced why and how come questions. These help you understand someone's reasons. For example, why did you decide to do that? How come? Third, we explored how questions. These invite people to talk about their experiences and feelings. For example, how did it feel? How did everything go? Finally, we looked at clarifying questions, which are useful whenever you don't completely understand something. For example, sorry, could you explain that again? What exactly do you mean? Simple questions, but incredibly useful.
Now, let's practice one final shadowing exercise. Remember to repeat every sentence clearly and confidently. Listen first. I started volunteering at an animal shelter last month. Now repeat. Excellent. Here's your follow-up question. That's wonderful. What made you decide to volunteer there? Repeat again. That's wonderful. What made you decide to volunteer there? Great. Let's do one more. I'm thinking about learning another language. Now repeat. Here's the follow-up. Really? Which language are you interested in learning? Say it again. Really? Which language are you interested in learning? Fantastic work. Keep speaking naturally, and don't worry if your pronunciation isn't perfect yet. Every day you practice, you're becoming more confident.
Now, let's put everything together in one final conversation. Listen carefully, then go back and practice both speakers if you have time.
I finally finished reading a novel in English.
That's fantastic. What was the story about?
It was about a young traveler who visited different countries and learned about new cultures.
That sounds interesting. Which part of the story did you enjoy the most?
I loved the ending because the main character became much more confident.
I like stories like that. Was the English difficult to understand?
At first it was, but after a few chapters, it became much easier.
That's really encouraging. Do you think you'll read another English book soon?
Definitely. Reading has helped me learn so many new words.
That's wonderful. I hope you enjoy your next book even more.
Excellent job. Did you notice how every answer naturally led to another question? That's exactly how real conversations work. You don't have to memorize hundreds of questions. Instead, focus on listening carefully, reacting naturally, and asking one thoughtful follow-up question. Those 3 simple habits will help you become a more confident English speaker. Before we finish today's lesson, here's a small challenge for you. Today, try having a conversation with someone in English. It could be a friend, a classmate, a teacher, or even a language partner online. During that conversation, challenge yourself to ask at least 3 follow-up questions. Don't rush. Listen carefully to each answer, react naturally, and then ask your next question. If you don't have anyone to practice with today, don't worry. Watch an English video, listen to a podcast, or read a short article. Then write down 3 follow-up questions you would ask the speaker. This simple exercise trains your brain to think naturally in English.
And that's the end of today's lesson. We hope these examples give you the confidence to speak more naturally every day. Remember, fluency doesn't come from knowing every word in the dictionary. It comes from using the English you already know to build real conversations with real people. Thank you so much for spending your time practicing with us today. Keep repeating the shadowing exercises whenever you can, keep asking great follow-up questions, and most importantly, keep enjoying the learning process. Every conversation is another opportunity to improve. We'll see you again in the next lesson. Until then, keep practicing, stay curious, and never stop believing in your progress. Have a wonderful day and happy English learning.